Invitations and replies. We'll start with invitation and replies today. Invitations are extended to relatives, friends, and clients on a number of social occasions like marriages, births, engagement, deaths, or other public functions. Invitations are of two types. One is formal invitation, and the other is informal invitation. While formal invitations are sent for the above mentioned occasion, and many people also send a handwritten informal invitation beforehand to make these occasions more personal, cordial, and intimate as it appropriate to their relationship. Replying to invitations is essential. It is an essential courtesy to the host who has extended an invitation and also helps the host know how many guests will arrive so that he or she may make arrangements accordingly. So like the invitations, replies to invitation also may be formal replies to the invitation or informal replies to the invitation. So first we'll start with formal invitation. Formal invitations are sent to relatives, friends, etc. on social occasions. It is a simple yet elegant printed card preferred. Invitation are written in third person. In third person, for example, Mr. and Mrs. S. Sundaran request the pleasure of the company of Mr. and Mrs. Matthew. Uh, uh, a point to be remembered here is that the English etiquette requires the husband name to be written first. For example, Mr. and Mrs. It is never Mrs. and Mr. Now, the third point is like avoid use of abbreviation. If you are writing a invitation, abbreviation for the name of guest, days or dates. However, the abbreviation like RSVP, which mean please reply, is put at the bottom. This we can use, but other than the when you write a body of the invitation, in that try to avoid writing the abbreviation. The subject matter is written in the center setting. Details like address, dress code, or any other instruction are written at the bottom, to the left or the right as per choice or convenience. So the subject matter you write should also be very clear. There are few important points which is to be kept in mind. Important points, the invitation is laid out so that each of the following is in separate line. The important point which is to be kept in the mind are the name of the host and name of the host who is issuing the invitation. Then the standard expression that is request the pleasure of the company of. The reason for the invitation, the time and date of the event. The venue of the event is also important to be mentioned when you are inviting a person and then in case a VIP is to be invited, his or her name appear prominently. And in case of printed card, the name of the invitee may not figure in the invitation. The date of issuing the invitation is not mentioned. Date of issuing should not be mentioned in the invitation card, and no punctuation is required at the end of the line. There is no signature at the end, and the simple present tense is used whenever you are writing a formal invitation. Now, replying to the formal invitation. Reply to the formal invitation, like replying to an invitation is essential courtesy for the two reasons. First is to appreciate the host kindness in inviting you to the occasion, and second to let the host know whether you will be attending the function or not in order to enable her or him to arrange arrangements accordingly. The layout of a reply to a formal invitation is much the same as the invitation itself. First is the line will be written in ordinary prose, but the language should be very formal. and then the reply is written in the third person, and there is no address or date. However, the first is like you not need to mention the address and the date. And then, however, at times people may put the date at the top right hand corner or bottom right hand corner, but please avoid. Now, coming on to informal invitation. Informal invitation are sent for a personal occasion. There are characteristic of an informal invitation, that is, it is written in the first person, that is I, or using we. Then the sender's address is written as usual, but the receiver's address is not mentioned. I'll write it for you all. The sender's address is written and the receiver's address will not be written. Then the date of writing the invitation is given, but there is no need to write the year, but you need to mention the salutation is like dear plus the name, and the complimentary clauses like yours sincerely. Now various tenses of the verb are used unlike the formal invitation, because formal invitation is only limited to the simple present tense. And then the invitation does not ask for a reply as in the formal invitation. However, it is polite to reply to the invitation, though it is not compulsory to give a reply to the informal invitation, but if you reply, it will be good enough. And the vocabulary is less formal. Now, as I've said that replying to the informal invitation is not very important, but replying to the formal invitation is important, is required to, it is important to give a reply to the formal invitation. But still, if I speak about the informal invitation and the reply of it, it is an essential courtesy to reply to an invitation. The layout of a reply to an informal invitation is also informal like the invitations itself. The reply is written in the first person. The points in the reply to the informal invitation are, that is, acknowledging the invitation, and then mention acceptance or refusal. Mention acceptance or refusal is essential to give a reason for refusing an invitation. Then making use of warm and the simple language while you are replying to the informal invitation. Thank you.